I mean, it's an 8-year.
Well, I mean, I've said the same thing you're saying. I mean, you'd think they would look out and find these weak areas they can push through. But they either they don't want to, or they're just not able to determine it well enough to make that kind of a move. Because I mean, look at that. When they find them, they pin them down and then they kill them. I mean, it's not like they let them get away. I mean, they drone the shit out of them and bomb them, and then somebody walks up and finishes off whoever's left.
Right. Judging by the amount of ammunition being used on the battlefield, what do you think, guys? How long the Ukrainians are able to hold on? I mean, overall, the battlefront. What is the time frame that they will collapse? Judging by the amount of ammunition and the lack of human resources, soldiers on the boots on the ground.
Human resources, a long time.
Army is not going to collapse for another year and a half, 2 years. Army itself. But the issue is the government. Government might collapse much more quickly, and then the army doesn't have nothing to stand on. It will just pull back. That's the early. But as far as I know, we started with nothing in Croatia, the Croatian War. We started with nothing. We were able to hold up, to steal the weaponry, to steal the ammo, and fight with it. We were losing, but very, very slowly.
Yeah.
So
in Croatia, you were producing the weaponry and the steel and the ammo in Croatia.
Very
were
little.
You getting everything? How are you getting all of the supplies that your army needed?
There was no army. There was no army.
The first war they lost.
It was the police.
Where were they getting their weaponry?
Exactly.
Who was supplying them?
We were buying some initially from Hungary. Some of it transported as much as we could, but because the army was stationed every city, so they were able to control every routes. So there was some smuggling, but those are very small amounts of the weapons and ammo. It was mostly police forces, the people with guns, that they had guns, very little ammunition, as much as they could buy, get it. So that was very little, but most of it was decided to surround and blockade all those military camps around the cities, and then some of them surrendered pretty quickly, got weapons and ammo from it. In one city, huge ammo was blown up by by them before they surrendered the weaponry. So there was a lot of tanks and weaponry taken by them, but no ammo from that area. So that's how I'm saying. Basically, the police was defending against the whole army with all supplies, everything, but never really decisive. They weren't decisive to do it.
Okay? So that's why I think it's a good. I think Euro is correct, in the sense that the Ukrainian army can hold for another 2 years as long as there's a manpower for that. Because even if they have no tanks, no armor, no artillery, just by manpower with guns and bullets, it's going to take forever, to clear. So you look at the Taliban, the U.S. forces took how long? They can't even clear out the Taliban, So it's not easy to just, as long as there's manpower, they can still fight. They will lose slowly, but
if we compare the Ukrainians to the Germans, which the Russians like to do.
No, don't compare to us Germans, okay? Don't do
How
that.
were the Germans defeated in World War I and World War II? It was actually, well, in World War I is actually the one that I'm referring to here, because it wasn't the army necessarily that was defeated first, but it was the entire country was running out of food. They were starved. Yeah. Even in World War II, you can say, well, it wasn't so much that the army was worse. It was that they had no oil, right? That was their issue. I mean, I don't want to get into all that, but you could make an argument for those two. So I think the Ukrainians are going to be a similar story. It's going to be, how long are they going to be able to hold on, considering they're getting supplied from an external source? I think, a very long time, because you can't actually really cut off their food and their oil. Not really. I mean, the West could do it. We could just give up on supplying them. But they're always going to be supplied. So all they need to do is continue churning the men into uniforms and getting them into trenches. That's all the Ukrainians have to do.
Yeah. Hey, I got to head out. I just want to close real quick. I was to say, obviously the Divka is going to be hot. I mean, I would look for them to really push hard on the coke plant and maybe that eastern far part where they got to the industrial area. And probably see how far they can push in that way. And then I still think around Seversk might get pretty hot. I just figure just keep watching the Divka get closed up and maybe something will change. Maybe they'll start pulling units out. But, enjoy the open mic as always. Plenty of space if y'all want to come in. Y'all have a good week.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Ron.
Bye, Ron.
So I also actually thinking about doing closing soon. We just nice